were working on that furnace yesterday, and we were talking about the temp rise, right?
Yes.
The temp rise on that train RTU for heating was 25 to 55 degrees, wasn't it?
Yes.
Why did they put that on the nameplate?
So you can see if there's low airflow or not. Like
Correct.
if it's too
Correct.
high or
They
too low.
want you to be able to provide enough air that can handle the heat that's being created by that heat exchanger, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if everything else was normal, like if your inlet pressure and your manifold pressure and your combustion numbers were all good, but you had a high temp rise, you probably also have a higher flue temp, wouldn't you?
Yes.
But if you get the correct temp rise right, then you know that you're pretty close to having the right amount of airflow going across that heat exchanger such that it's not going to prematurely fail, right?
Yes.
Well, see, the manufacturers know that HVAC dudes don't exactly all carry around precision airflow measuring devices. But what we do have are temperature probes. So if you can put one in a return and a supply and calculate the temp rise, you can manipulate an electronically commutated motor for its speed in order to get that temp rise right. You know what I'm saying? You might mess up some other stuff in the process depending on who installed the ductwork and whether they did it right. But the whole reason that they're able to put that value on there is based on the sensible heat equation. You remember that? There was one for water, remember, for the universal hydronic equation? It had that constant 500 in it. Well, there's one for air too, and it's Q equals 1.08 times CFM times the temperature difference. And that 1.08 comes from the density of air being 0.075 pounds per cubic feet, and the specific heat of air being 0.24 BTUs per pound. And then they multiply that by 60 because you need to go from cubic feet per minute to BTUs per hour. And then when you multiply that by the temperature difference, you come out with the capacity, right?
Okay.
So they use that equation to calculate, you know, what the temp rise. They just reverse that process in order to get a correct temp rise based on the correct amount of airflow. Because that furnace had an input of 200,000 BTUs, but it was an 80% furnace, wasn't it?
Yes.
So how many BTUs was the output of that furnace?
It would be 160,000.
Yeah, it was 160,000 BTU output. Where'd that other 40,000 BTUs go?
Out the flue.
Damn right it went out the flue. Anyway, them engineers, they figured that out and they put that on that name tag so a bunch of knuckleheads like us that ain't got flow hoods and pitot tubes and can't find the blower chart because the manufacturer don't give it out freely can make sure that furnace don't fail.